What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all having a fantastic day. So, for my 700 subscriber special, I decided to take my 7th 6-star up to rank 3, and that is Dr. Doom. So, I got Dr. Doom a while ago from a Nexus 6-star crystal, and I haven't been able to awaken him since, but once I do, I have about 80 Sigstones Mystic to pour into him. So he'll be an absolute prestige monster. He'll take over my account. And yeah, I just can't wait to try and get him awakened in my big 6-star opening coming up. I think the new featured pool comes in about 15 days. So I'll have some Nexus crystals. Maybe the new featured pool will have him. And I might go for some basics just to see if I could awaken this guy, because it's really nice utility. It helps him defeat a lot of annoying power gain opponents. And yeah, I just would love to see him with the Silver Star. So first thing we're going to do is test him out in some ROL Legends. So I'm running full synergies on him right now. So I'm running the Annihilus synergy, where every time there's a stagger on opponent and you do a heavy attack, it's a guaranteed crit. I'm running the Silver Surfer one, so every time you throw a special attack, you will gain a random buff between Armor Up, Energize, and Fury. I'm running the Morningstar synergy. That means every time you nullify a buff, you do a little bit burst of damage onto the opponent. And then I think I'm running the Thing synergy just for 6% extra attack. And I killed off all those synergy opponents so that I get plus 40% attack, because Doom has a synergy with himself. That gives him plus 10% attack for each knocked out opponent. So with all 4 of them knocked out, plus 40% attack. And you can see the damage right now is just insane. He's doing like 6k light attacks and 10k mediums, which is just absolutely great off of a champ that is just not only damage based, but he has some great utility on him. That was a 22k heavy attack. I'm telling you, when you have him at rank 3 with these big fury buffs and all the opponents knocked out, he hits so much harder. Like, I could notice this. My 565 I've had for a while, and he's always felt good, but this rank 3 just feels so much better with all these synergies. He just feels like an absolute titan to play. You can see those are 22k mediums now and 14k lights, given I did get the fury buff from Silver Surfer, but that was still absolutely wicked damage. And he's already down to 28 before I've thrown even my first special 2. So the Doom cycle is you want to go 2 special 3s and then go to a special 2 and finish the fight. And the fight's done now after 1 special 2. So those were doing about 2.2k per incinerate, which is about 6.6k in total, which is around 13 to 14k damage per second, which is absolutely absurd. That was not even class advantage. That was just a standard fight with Dr. Doom. And that was a 500k health pool. So that's what I also like to say. I see Dr. Doom as the 3rd best champion in the game, personally, because you can like keep your opponent in a loop where you really don't take a lot of damage. He's the closest thing I can see to like a Quake or a Ghost, where you're just not taking damage and you're just keeping the opponent without able to do anything. So I see this with him, and that's why I rank him as the 3rd best. And he just does so much damage in that time too, with his utility. So Ghost has the utility of being able to phase like damage effects, get even more furies. You can build power with phasing, and it's very hard to die with her. Dr. Doom makes it so that your opponent essentially can't throw a special, and his power drain is so potent, and you get your specials off so quickly. And you can see this fight is just absolutely absurd. It's a 500k health down in about around 70 hits usually, which is also why I see him with that number 3rd spot. It's because he doesn't do the most damage in the game. Like Cosmic Ghost Rider, for example, can take down these fights in 30 seconds. Like, it's so easy for him, but he doesn't have the utility that Dr. Doom has, and he doesn't have the long-term stamina. Like, sometimes you have to play him without using dexterity, which is kind of annoying. I know there's cycles where you can use dexterity, but learning those cycles is a little bit annoying. Doom just works the same way for every fight you can use him for, the same rotation, and right there you can see just the damage is absolutely wicked off him. He just dropped that Captain Marvel so quickly. But yeah, he doesn't always do the I can't speak. He doesn't always do the fights the fastest, similarly to Quake, but he can usually always get them done without taking a lot of damage. And that's the other thing I have to point out with Doom. The block proficiency is so high on him. He has like an average health pool, but his block proficiency makes it seem like he has a Sasquatch level health pool. It's just absolutely absurd, and it's one of the greatest things about him that people often overlook. So not only is he the prestige king of the Mystic class, not only does he have insane damage, not only is he like one of the best block proficiency champions, he just makes everything combined together, makes him one of the best champions in the entire game, without doubt. You can probably, I make an argument that Magneto could be better than him, but personally, I just think Doom has more use across all types of content than Magneto does. So we're finishing up this Realm Legends Juggernaut fight, and you'll see that he hardly procs Unstoppable the entire time because Doom has a Nullify on his heavy attack, and that will just take away all the buffs. And that's the one thing that I compare Doom and Sasquatch to, and why I love Doom so much more than Sasquatch. It's because you can access your heavy attack without parrying. You just do your 5-hit combos, you put the shock on, and then you charge heavy, similarly to Wasp, and just immediately get the passive stun, and they go down. So you get the same Nullify or Stagger with Sasquatch with his heavy attack, because it's like you can nullify the buffs, but Doom, you can keep putting them on much more consistently, so the Unstoppable on Juggernaut happens much less frequently than it would if you were using, for example, Sasquatch. But yeah, Doom also has the damage compared to Sasquatch, whereas Sasquatch you build up to one big boy special attack, and it really depends on the crits. Doom is just consistently amazing damage throughout the entire fight. And I know these aren't really utility showcase fights, and look at those 31k heavy attacks, just insane. So it's not really utility showcase yet, but I will have some of that later on. I know next we're going to jump into some monthly Cavalier, and then we're going to do some Act 6, and then I have an Act 7 boss solo that it will be pretty interesting to see. So right now we're about to finish this fight. It's just so easy. We're hitting for 22k medium attacks, and we're going to launch one big special 2, and it's just going to be so much overkill with the Incinerates. You've seen, I haven't even been able to get those Incinerates to fully tick, but they could probably do around like 20% health if they had full time up. So now we're going to jump into some monthly Cavalier. I'm running similar synergies, but I brought APOC and Cable just because I was doing a new path, and I just usually have them for clearing bosses because their combination is really good. But this is all about Doom, so let's forget about them. So this is the, Mystic node. I think it's every time you nullify a buff or power drain the opponent, you get a Fury. Yeah, right there. So you see I get a passive Fury, and this just makes Doom so insane. So instead of doing the 2 special 3s in this Cavalier monthly quest, I usually just do 1 special 3, and then I have enough damage off my special 2 just to finish the fight off. So right there I got clipped, a little bit annoying, but I had the armor up buff from Silver Surfer, so it was a lot less damage than I would have taken. So right now I jump into my special 3. We're going to see how much damage this does. It wouldn't do as much as it usually does because they have the protection mode in this monthly Cavalier. So it's a tad annoying, but it'll be fine. We'll get the fight done just as easily. So here we go, medium, light, medium, light, 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 medium, medium. That's how I like to do when they're stunned. Medium, light, medium, light, 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 medium, medium, special 1. Then you get your special 2, and let's just see the damage here. Oh, I decided to go for a special 3 again because the combo was just too good and I was getting too much power. But that's one of the problems with Doom. I don't run Doom with Mystic Dispersion because I often find that if I do, his power gain will be just slightly too much. So I just run him without it, and it works like a charm just perfectly. So if the opponent has a lot of buffs, you can keep cycling your special 3, but if they don't, you're just going to have a standard cycle. So I could see maybe running 1 or 2 points, but anything more than that would just be overkill with Dr. Doom. So you can see he handled that fight super easily. Wasn't the fastest of any Mystics. Like Longshot could probably do it a bit faster just because he's insane with that special 2 burst. But I find Doom to be much more consistent and much more reliable than Longshot, much less squishy and much more utility than Longshot. So here we go. Here's a fight that Longshot could not work for. It is Colossus, and that's because Colossus is Incinerate immune. But you know what he's not immune to? Shock. So we're just going to absolutely destroy this fight. And what I also like to do in the beginning of fights is get the opponent up to a special 2. I'll beat about 1.5 bars of power. So then I throw my special 1. You'll see right here, I throw it, get my Aura of Hazorath up so I can start nullifying the buffs and build up to a special 3 really quickly. I find it much easier than just building up to a special 3 without throwing a special 1, and I think it might use a bit more hits, but it feels much faster for me personally. So you can see I also like to get the opponent up to around 2 bars of power, and I don't know what happened there. I was going to do my, heavy attack into the shock, but it just did not register, and I got a little bit clipped, but it's fine. Throwing our special 3 now. And this is just going to basically put the fight under because now we have our Fury up and we're just going to be doing insane damage. So you can see right here, we're just going to steal his power, get up to our special 1, chuck it off. And I think I go for the snipe once I get to my special 2. But even though Colossus is Incinerate immune, it should be enough damage to do him. So 2k, 3k, and then we got no crits, which is absolutely so unfortunate. But I'm going to try and build up to 1 more special 2, and I just get it. With that special 1 power steal, we're going to throw it again, and this one puts him under. So that was a very good showcase of where you might want to run more Mystic's Dispersion with Doom, because I probably could have gotten up to 2 special 2s even sooner instead of running it so close. But if your opponent has a lot of buffs like Colossus does, you should be absolutely fine. So it shows you that Doom even works in fights that aren't Incinerate immune, because just his base damage is so high that you don't really need to rely on the special attacks if you don't want to. You can just do a special 3 or loop if you want. And now we're going against another buff-heavy Cosmic Venom, so this will be a very easy fight. You'll see this one goes down very quickly. Go for my Power Steal when he is close to his second bar of power. And now we're going to build up to that special 3 super quickly, already at the 2. Heavy attack, and then I'm going to try and block because I don't want him to throw a special attack, because I want to do my special 3, push him up to 3 bars of power so that I can power drain for my full special 2. And that's something else you have to just know with Doom. You really don't want to throw your special 3 when they're at no bars of power, because your power drain will be less potent. You won't gain as much power back on your special 1 steal, and it's just not a good time. So you can see right here, I do my double mediums, steal 2 bars of power, and I think I just go for the snipe right here, 6,000, 3,000, and 16,000 crit, and the incinerates are going for about 1,400. And I know you're thinking, well, why aren't they doing as much as they did in Realm of Legends? And that's because I had 2 Furies in Realm of Legends, even though I had these passive ones, and I also wasn't running the knocked out synergy members. So that's why his damage isn't as high here, but we just cycled special 1s, which is something I really like to do with Doom, and just a very easy fight for Doom. So I think we're going to move on to the last fight of this, Monthly Cavalier, and it's basically Venom's offspring. So we got Carnage, another buff-heavy Cosmic, so another just super easy fight for Doom. You can see that he hasn't really taken a lot of health off, like, in this whole quest. The 6-star rank 3 is really good because he has Adrenaline, so he can get the health back consistently. And like I said, the block proficiency is just so good, and that's very useful because Doom does kind of need to block if you're about to throw off a special 3 and you don't want your opponent to throw off their special, because if you're just standing open, there's a good chance that they'll throw it, but if you're blocking, it's less likely. And it's really good that Doom has the block proficiency, because you're basically taking no damage when you're trying to just keep that special 2 in case for them. So we're going to throw a special 3 here, and you can see Carnage is already down to about 79%, so this is going to be a very easy rest of the fight. I think 1 special 2 should do him off here. I was about 8% off special 3, and you can see the protection lowers it a little bit, because it's usually around a 20 to 25k special 3 with that 1 Fury. So we're going to throw off the special 2 right here against the wall, 6, 10, and then a bunch of 6,000s and 117,000. And you can see right here, the incinerates are just too powerful, and I'm going to loop my special 1s, I'm going to go heavy attack, and then just, it's over. So that is going to be it for Doom in Monthly Cavalier. And now I'm going to jump into some Act 6 content. We're going to do 1 standard Act 6 fight on this path, and then we're going to do the Resistor fights versus Drax and Black Bolt. So this is a standard Act 6 fight, no extra nodes, just a big health pool Vulture, about 270,000 health. And you can see that Doom just deals with it so easily. So the Vulture is Incinerate, so it'll be a little bit, or Incinerate immune, so it's going to be a little bit annoying, like that Colossus fight in Monthly Cavalier, but he has so much damage that we will just be absolutely fine. So you can see I have those same synergies running. I'm getting the guaranteed crits on every stagger that the opponent has. So right there, we're building up for a special 3 now. Hit nice 13k medium or heavy attack. And that's the thing. Everyone thinks of Doom as the big special 2. That's how you win the fight. But I see you win the fight as his base damage, because when you're in this loop, you're just doing so much you don't even notice, because you're so focused on building up that power, getting to the special 2, that you're not even looking at the numbers you're doing to your opponent until you throw the special 2. And that's one of the great things about Doom. He's so reliable in that way. So right here, we're going to Power Steal, and I think I thought I had enough to nuke him down, but then I remembered he was Incinerate immune. But knowing me, I still went for it. 6k, 3k, and I got very lucky with the crits there. It's 2 15ks, and right here, I'm just going to go in, I think, 1 special 1, and then if I throw another one, it should be game. So this was an extremely quick and easy fight with Doom, and yeah, so you can just see how quickly that Vulture went down. But that was a standard Act 6 fight, and now we're going to see Doom in his natural habitat, just the absolute best, which is where the Morningstar synergy actually shows some of its use. So it's where every time you nullify a buff, you do a small % of energy damage to the opponent, and Resistor, as you can see, they get a whole lot of buffs, but you can see every time we nullify, we're doing a little bit of damage, so about 400 damage, but off the special 1, you nullify a lot of buffs, so I think it's 4 nullifies or 3 nullifies. So that's about 1200 damage, which might not seem like a lot off of a rank 3 6-star, but it's just really nice to have it because let's say like 1200 damage is about maybe 0.5% of an opponent's health pool, or maybe like 0.25%. If you're doing like 5 to 10 special like ones throughout an entire fight, that actually builds up to around 2 to 2.5% of the opponent's health pool, which is really solid because I know there's a lot of times in fights when you just need that last few percent, but that little burst of damage will deal that over time. And right here, I kind of forgot that there was energy resistance, so the incinerates are not taking for as much as they usually do. It's about 400 in this fight. So I just realized I just got to play this like a different Doom fight, just going through special 3 rotations. And I think that should put Black Bolt away. So that's one thing you have to remember with Resistor is the special 2 is not going to hit as hard. So it might just be smarter to go for special 3s continuously because Black Bolt does have a lot of buffs, so it'll be really easy to get up to them and keep them looping. Right there you saw I blocked that hit so that Black Bolt didn't throw a special 1 and that we could keep him at a high bar power for our special 3. But it didn't really matter anyway because the fight was going to be over in about 10 seconds when I throw the special 3 and then just do my attacks into his stun. So you can see that was a very easy fight with Doom on Resistor, and I think I'm just going to show one more of the similar fight with Drax. So Drax doesn't have as many naturally occurring buffs as Black Bolt, so it's going to be not as much damage via the Morningstar synergy, but it will still be a really good fight because of Resistor. Now, Doom still isn't the best option. I think Longshot is pretty much solidified as the Resistor king because he just nukes the opponents about 1 special attack. And I also think Mordo is a bit better for Resistor just because he puts that soul barb on them and they just take so much damage. It's unreal. But Doom is still a really solid option because you can build up to so many special 3s, loop them infinitely essentially, and just not take any damage. So right here, you saw once again I blocked, baited out a heavy attack so that I did not have them throw their special attack in there, and I'm ready to go now. So that's special 3. I'm going to throw mine, and then we're basically set. So I think in this fight, I do decide to go for 2 special 3s because the special 2 isn't going to be doing as much damage. And that's one thing you just have to remember with Resistor, just energy resistance. So Doom isn't the best for that, but it's fine because Doom is just so good that his damage will carry you throughout the fight. So right here, we can see we're going to do our special... Oh, we don't do it because I messed up the rotation. So if you messed up the stun just by like waiting an extra second, you can just do medium, light, and just keep spamming lights because those are the things that power steal. And luckily, I got up to another special 3 just as my aura was about to expire, so I get to refresh that and I get my second Fury. So that's another thing you just want to remember, that if you do mess up when the opponent is stunned, you just want to do light attacks to get your power back because the medium attacks will give them power and then you just drain that power with your lights. So right here, I think I might go for special 2 or special 3. Right there you saw 21k heavy attack, and after that I was like, yeah, I should be able to nuke down. So once again, the incinerates aren't doing a lot of damage, but it's fine because we're going to throw 1 heavy attack, special 1 for power steal, and the fight was over before I could even throw another special 2. So that's it for Doom on Resistor, but now I have a solo of the Gwen Master boss in 7.2, and this one was my favorite part of the video by far. So I made a video on how to defeat the Gwen Master, so I'm not going to go ahead and explain how the fight works, but Doom is just awesome for this fight, mostly because of his block proficiency and just because of how much fun he is to use. So it's just a very simple first phase. I build Gwen Master up close to a bar of power and throw my special 1 just off in time. And I find that it's very easy to get your power back in this fight. So you can throw your special 1, not really worry about not having enough when she's at her special because Doom has the power steal. So this first phase is really easy. I got clipped there by accident, and right there I didn't be able to get the, thing off. Right there she turned into diamond form as I had the shock on her, so that was unfortunate. But those are about the only mistakes that I make throughout the rest of this fight. One's going to go clip there. Wasn't looking like a good fight. But I finally push her out of this first phase. She has the green power thing on her, so she... sorry, I got a call during this, but as I was saying, she has the power sting, so she's doing all the damage back to herself. Now we're in the Killmonger phase, which is still, in my opinion, the easiest phase in this entire fight. You just basically intercept and parry, and you just don't... If you mess up during this fight, I'm sorry, but you really got to work on your Gwynmaster skills, because this is just basic learning how to play. So this is probably the best part of the fight, and where I don't take any damage. You just can't hit her block like an idiot, like I do sometimes, or else you'll go unstoppable. And you just can't throw the special attacks, because they're going to do damage back to you. But aside from that, it's a very easy fight, and you can usually get this one done the fastest. Although I find the next phase to be even like faster and sometimes easier. So the one thing I just want to point out is that I'm not using heavy attacks in this fight to chain my combos, because when you use heavy attacks, the timer on that gray power sting will keep going. So I'm just using basic combos in this fight, so you won't see me doing the typical heavy attack when Doom has the shock on them to convert it into a passive stun. So right there I finished the phase. She does the damage back to herself. Now we're going to jump into what I actually see as the easiest phase, the Invisible Woman one. So you just do intercepts like I do backdrafts, and I get up to 4 Furies. I'm going to do a bunch of damage here, and look, the shield's already down to 41%, and I see that she's at a special one, so I'm going to bait it out, and you can actually dash right in immediately to disguise the timer, and it'll be very easy. So right here, just do more intercepts, and that will be done in no time at all. So you can see the phase just ended. I was hitting for like 20,000 hits on that special one, which is just crazy. So next we enter into the reverse phase, basically, so it's just Doom. So I just got to throw off a heavy attack, special 1, special 2, special 3, and it's over. So Doom is the great in for his heavy attack, and I go right into special 1, get 2 energized super quickly. So this is going to be a very easy phase. We'll just build up to our special 2 very quickly, because he energizes, throw it off, and then we just have to get a special 3, and the phase is over. So as you can see, this is probably one of the more simple phases, but it could be annoying if you don't have a good champion to heavy counter with. So right here, we're basically set. There's so much time left on the power sting, and we're just going to build up to our special 3. And this was the phase that saved me for this solo, because I wasn't really on par to beat this in time, but this phase does so much damage to her that it really did just save me and made me set up for the next phase, because the next phase is really, really annoying and tricky to get on the first try. So right here you can see we got the green timer, and we're just going to try and batter into her to get her against the wall for this next phase, because it's kind of annoying when you don't have her there. So it's doing 107,000 per tick, huge phase. Now we have 2 left. So this is the Arcus phase, so we're just going to try and keep her against the wall until she gets a special 1, and then once she throws it, we're going to back off, and we're going to try and get those armor breaks stacked up on us. So right here we got our first one, and we're just going to keep dashing back until we have a few, until we get closer to our wall, and then we're going to intercept right here. I try to go for it there, missed it. About 4 armor breaks right now, and I need to go so I can get this timer paused again, throw a special 1 to create some distance and get more armor breaks on me. So I got another one there. I'm up to 6 now, and the timer is over halfway done. It's about 2/3, so I'm a little bit below pace right now, so I just got to keep hitting them, get another more little space. Right there I have the special 1, so I'm just going to struggle right here. I think I'm going to try and back off on the corner. We're going to go right here, rebuild enough space for the special, and then we're at 10 armor breaks. I hold block and just pray she doesn't kill me. I was so lucky because I got that heavy attack off. So that phase, you can see, isn't doing a lot of damage back to her, but we're absolutely fine. So now we're in the Iron Man Infinity War phase, so we're just going to do 5-hit combos ending on light attacks, because that's really how you want to do this. If she throws a special 1, it's going to be super annoying. So right here, you'll see I'm going to attack in, get stunned, and that's how it works. So I just don't want her to throw any more for the rest of the fight. Do another 5-hit combo, hold block immediately so she doesn't throw a special attack. 1 more 5-hit combo, and then I just need to block once more, and then the fight is over. So I finish with a 5-hit combo ending on a light. She throws the special, and it is over. So that is a bunch of gameplay from the new Rank 3 Doom. I do hope you guys enjoyed, and I want to thank you all for 700 subscribers, and I'll see you in the next one.